there's two basics that I think MD would talk about. One is the producer's fee. You might want to establish an upfront fee for the work, bearing in mind it could potentially be quite a lot of work. There's always that aspect in jobs like that. If you're producing an album, the kind of mission creep thing, where the band maybe they've got 5, 6, 7 tracks they want to do, and then by the end of it, the 6 of those 7 tracks have gone out the window and they've got another 6, and you've produced, it can, you need to kind of watch that. So if you're doing it for a fee, you need to make sure there's maybe some kind of clause that covers how much you're getting paid and for how much work. The other aspect linked to that is some producers will maybe work on an album with an upcoming band for points and say, well, I get this percentage if it does well. Some people might take a fee and less points. Some people might take a fee and no points. It just depends how folk do it. So that's two aspects. The third aspect, which I think is really important, is you have to define what your job is and how much of a capacity are you the producer. Are you responsible for just getting the album together, making it sound kind of uniform, making it and turning it into a professional product? Or are you responsible for the creative aspect of it? Some producers are more creative than others. Some bands don't want the producer to be creative. Some bands start out not wanting to be creative and then want to meddle in everything. Some start out creative and then give up halfway through. I think you need to have a definite, define exactly what your role is going to be for the duration of that album within the time period that you're working for that fee. Otherwise things can get a bit muddy, and that's when it becomes tricky. I mean, a while ago I started producing an album for someone that was supposed to be a sort of month-long project, and it took, I think, 4 years. Not every day, but this thing kept coming back and it was never really finished. And the reason it was never finished was because he was kind of a friend, and it was like, well, we'll do this, we'll do it for this price. But I never really defined a time frame on it, and as a result it kind of crept on and crept on and crept on. So I think it's important to do that, otherwise you might find it excludes you from doing other jobs because you're up to your eyes in it.